history is full of firsts.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Many of those firsts shaped our way of life. For 70 years, KPRC Channel 2 has been proud to be pioneers in shaping television and Houston history.
In a state the size of Texas, everyone can enjoy.
In the storms Thursday. Minutes before 9 o'clock, the crew's here telling them.
This is the first time in a long they had let it. Send us some of your men.
Isn't it good to work for a place that has a sense of history? And indeed it is.
See, taking the president from Spring to College Station following.
If you have something you'd like Channel 2 Investigates to check out, call the tip line at 713-223-TIPS or email investigates@click2houston.com. Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News at 4.
Now at 4, protecting yourself from the coronavirus. The advice from health professionals in our area to help keep you and your family safe.
And wrongful convictions. The dozens of cases the district attorney's office says involved false evidence from Gerald Goins, the former HPD officer linked to the deadly botched raid on Harding Street.
But first, breaking news from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where 7 people have been killed in what's described as an active shooter incident at the Molson Coors complex. The local NBC affiliate there says the suspected shooter is among the dead. Police are telling the local NBC station that the suspected shooter is a former employee of Molson Coors. As we learn more, we will keep you updated both here on the air and online.
Now to the coronavirus crisis as President Trump gets ready to hold a news conference on what is predicted to become a pandemic. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Christine Noel.
And I'm Andy Sirota in for Keith. Here's what we know so far. Federal health officials have told Americans to prepare for the virus to spread further in the U.S. The number of confirmed cases around the world has gone up to more than 81,000. One of the countries affected is Italy, where we learned Gonzaga University's program in Florence will be suspended due to fears about the virus.
So how should people here get ready in case the virus spreads further? Our Sion Rhodes spoke with health experts, and she's joining us live from the Texas Medical Center this afternoon. Sion?
And those experts say now is not the time to panic, but the time to prepare.
It is reasonable to start considering the possibility that we do have kind of an outbreak here in the United States.
Dr. Michael Chang is an infectious disease specialist with the UT McGovern Medical School. He says everyone should have a pandemic plan.
I don't think Dr. Massonia yesterday was really suggesting that we need to stock up on food and water and things like that, but more about just kind of how you would deal with, say, a 2-week disruption in your daily routine and availability of kind of public spaces. The key is really what we call social distancing, or trying to stay away from other people.
For businesses, that means
it may be better if you could work from home. You know, if there's some tasks that you can complete from home. Can you do meetings and conferences through conference calls or Skype?
And for schools,
if they were to identify a case in their schools, how would they notify families and parents about school closures? Currently, within the United States, the risk of getting coronavirus is still fortunately low. That said, it can't hurt to think ahead.
Now, we did reach out to the largest school districts in our area. Most of them said they are in contact with their local health departments. They're continuing to disinfect the schools with what they call hospital-grade products. And, of course, they're encouraging good hygiene among the students, staff, and faculty there. Now, coming up at 5, more from Dr. Chang, what he says about the true effectiveness of those N95 masks that everyone's rushing out to get. We're going to hear his take on that. Also, we're going to hear from Governor Greg Abbott about how Texas is preparing for a possible spread of coronavirus in our state. Reporting live in the Med Center, Sion Rhodes, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Sion, thank you. A big announcement from Austin today as events around the world are being canceled amid the growing concerns surrounding the coronavirus. Officials announced that South by Southwest will go on. The event draws hundreds of thousands of people from all over the world. The more than week-long festival kicks off March 13th and will come to an end on March 22nd. Again, that is still going on as planned. Last year, over 400,000 people attended the festival. The numbers on Wall Street have dropped the past few days due to concerns about the coronavirus. Here are today's closing numbers, with the Dow closing down 123 points. Oil prices also saw a drop of just over 2%. Coming up at 4:30, a look ahead to the president's news conference on the coronavirus. Then at 5, how the virus concerns are impacting the oil industry, including here at home. We are expecting the president to hold his news conference at approximately 5:30. We will carry it on air and online as soon as it gets underway.
New developments involving one of the former HPD officers linked to the deadly botched raid on Harding Street. Today, we learned that nearly 69 people may have been convicted on false evidence provided by Gerald Goins. We've been following this development since our newscast at midday. Channel 2's Bill Barajas spoke with Harris County District Attorney Kim Ogg about this and is live downtown with what she said. Bill.
Well, the big news out of the DA's office is that 69 people convicted of crimes may have those convictions overturned, and this may just be the beginning.
Justice is going to take as long as we have to work until the last person who was harmed by these cops finds justice.
A pledge, the beginning of righting the wrongs of those the community was supposed to be able to trust.
Our office is asking the judges in 69 cases to appoint lawyers for individuals who may have been wrongfully convicted by us based on what Goins, former HPD officer Gerald Goins, testified to or swore to when these individuals were convicted.
District Attorney Kim Ogg says 14,000 cases are in question. The 69 individuals today are cases that mostly involve the delivery of a controlled substance.
Our first targets were people who were already in jail, still serving time, current cases, and we're handling those.
Earlier this month, the DA's office exonerated both Stephen and Otis Mallett. Both were convicted on drug charges, largely on former HPD officer Gerald Goins' testimony.
The significance of the Mallett brothers is that their wrongful convictions happened back in 2008. The 14,000 cases that we're looking at were limited to the last 5 years.
This all being done as the DA's office continues investigating Goins, who is currently charged with murder and federal civil rights violations tied to the botched Harding Street raid in January 2019, where 2 people were killed, Regina Nicholas and Dennis Tuttle. And Ogg said this was one of the worst corruption cases she's ever seen here in the city of Houston, and pointed out there's still lots of work left to be done. Live in downtown, Bill Barajas, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Bill, thank you. New at 4, 4 carjacking suspects led officers on a chase straight into this backyard on Sandy Cliffs Drive. The chase started in this maroon car on Ella Boulevard. Between this backyard and the start of the pursuit, the suspects were going up to 85 miles per hour. Officials say they hit vehicles during the chase. The 4 suspects tried to run away after driving into the fence, but they are now in custody.
Finally feels more like a Houston winter outside.
Yeah, the sun is nice, but if you were expecting what we got yesterday in terms of temperatures, you would be wrong, especially if you're inside looking out. It's deceiving.
I know, it's chilly out there, and it's windy. Have you noticed that?
Oh, yeah.
Look, these blue areas are not really in our viewing area. This is Victoria and then down south of San Antonio, but they have a freeze warning for overnight just because they haven't had any freezes in a long time. To the south of that, in Corpus, fire weather warnings because of all the wind. We're under a wind advisory, and if you've been outside, you know why. It continues to be 20, 25 mile an hour sustained winds out there. 22 in Houston, Katy, 18 in Conroe, 22 in Wharton, Palacios at 24. 44. So is Galveston. So it is breezy. Triangle Energy camera showing that. And you can see 53 right now. In fact, 50s pretty much everywhere we are. Look at that camera just shaking away. So the wind's expected to calm. That allows these temperatures to really start cratering, especially once we get past 11 o'clock. We get into the 30s with some freezing numbers to wake up to. Upper 20s, 30, 31 Tomball, 33 downtown, 40 on the island. We'll talk more about it coming up, just how long this freeze is going to last when we warm up. The weekend's looking pretty stellar. And then our next rain chance. It's all straight ahead in weather. Christine?
All right, Frank, thank you. And just a reminder that you at home, you can track the change in temperatures wherever you go by downloading Frank's free forecast weather app. Just search KPRC in your mobile app store.
A former neo-Nazi leader arrested for swatting schemes appeared in court today. John C. Denton lives in Texas and faces federal charges for phony bomb threats made in Virginia. Denton is accused of calling in phony bomb threats on journalists, a predominantly African-American church, a cabinet official, and at Old Dominion University. The Montgomery native has been identified as a former leader of a group called Atomwaffen. That group, authorities say, seeks to incite a race war. A new federal appeals court ruling says the Trump administration can withhold millions of dollars in law enforcement grants to force states to cooperate with U.S. immigration enforcement. The ruling overturned a lower court's decision that ordered the administration to release funding to 7 states and New York City. The states and the city sued the government after the Justice Department announced it would withhold grant money from cities and states until they gave federal immigration authorities access to jails and provide advance notice when someone in the country illegally is about to be released. History is being made right here in Space City.
Yeah, for the first time, military enlistees were sworn into a military via a colonel stationed on the International Space Station. 25 future military members gathered at Space Center Houston, and hundreds of others gathered in various locations across the nation for the ceremony. U.S. Army Colonel and astronaut Andrew Morgan asked recruits to stand and raise their right hand and take the same oath that he took when he was 18 years old. Following the ceremony, Morgan told recruits that his military training prepared him for life as an astronaut.
Those experiences hardened me. They gave me the grit that I needed when I experienced tough training as an astronaut. We've had tough training as part of our training to be up here on the space station, but everything that I did in the military prepared me for this moment.
Over 900 soldiers-to-be from across the country took that oath today. The ceremony is the product of a partnership between NASA and U.S. Army Recruiting Command.
We are now less than 1 week away from the start of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Right now, hundreds of trail riders are trotting their way to Memorial Park with horses and wagons in tow. Check it out, Sky 2 live right now over the Prairie View Trail Ride along West Road near the Northwest Freeway. Beautiful day for a trail ride.
Yeah.
The Prairie View Association has been a part of the trail for the past 63 years, with 200 riders pulling 7 wagons across 86 miles ahead of the parade Saturday. If you would like to hear more about the decades-old tradition, you can find more information on our website, clicktohouston.com/rodeo.
They have to hold on to their hats today, that's for sure.
Boy,
Yeehaw, right? It's windy out there.
The push is on toward the South Carolina primary.
Yeah, coming out the latest on the race for the White House after Democrats faced off in their latest debate.
The discovery of an historic fossil. What scientists say they can now learn about the history of plants.
And 10 minutes after 4 o'clock, let's see how the roads are shaping up out there. Pretty normal in most directions. If you're heading up to the Woodlands from downtown Houston on the North Freeway, you're looking at 38 minutes. Just about the same if you're heading west towards Katy from downtown, 39 minutes on the Katy Freeway and 21 minutes down to Pearland on 288. And also a reminder, we want to let you know about our new traffic page at clicktohouston.com called What's Driving Houston. It includes traffic maps that update every 10 minutes to help you plan your commute. You can visit our page by going to clicktohouston.com/traffic.
You're watching Channel 2, Houston's home for news.
History is being made as history is recovered. check this out. It's a billion-year-old fossil.
Yeah, scientists believe it is the ancestors of the very first planets on Earth. The seaweed microfossils were found in a rock in northern China. Before this, the oldest known fossilized green algae was just 800 million years old. Scientists say the discovery could tell more about evolution and early plant life here on Earth.
Wrap your mind around that. I'm glad they're doing the math for us.
If I saw that on a beach, I would just be like, that looks like some algae.
Yeah.
Some
just
seaweed.
A billion alone.
I know.
Hard. A lot of zeros. Okay, so it's a bit of a change out there.
Yeah.
I know. If you were doing a dog walk, hang on to the leash, right?
Without a doubt, yes.
Extra pep in your step today.
Yeah.
Right. I love this shot. This just came in 8 minutes ago, so I don't know.
Goodness.
I don't know exactly. It says sunset, so I don't know if it was last night or when, but it's just
beautiful.
Dramatic. A winter tree. I know. Well, speaking of trees, you probably guessed this. Oak tree still 80% responsible for this extremely high number. A lot of trees out there, but oak tree is the real culprit. Grass is moderate. Most spores are low. Air quality continues to be fairly nice out there. So, Triangle Energy camera, a little shaky. Not bad of downtown, though. A lot of clear sky. 54. Look at those sustained winds. Northwest at 24 miles an hour. Down on the island, you've had a nice day. 56. Again, 24-mile-an-hour winds there. So it's breezy everywhere. It's right there in the 50s, from the low 50s to the mid 50s. Don't have a lot of upper 50s. We get to 57 out toward Beaumont, but it's been a chilly sweater jacket kind of day. And you look at these dew points, which gives us an idea of how dry that area is. And as you know, it's just hard to find any humidity. But when you see these upper 20s and 30s, that gives you an idea that a freeze is certainly a possibility in a lot of spots tonight if these winds calm down. That's going to be key. Right now, 22, 24, and still gusting to 30, 32, 31, 35-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So they have a long way to go, but still expected to about 9 o'clock to really calm down. So the wind advisory is until 6. I'm going to stop this at 9 o'clock, and you'll see how things begin to taper off. 9, 9:30, 5, 7, 8 miles an hour, and that trend right on through the overnight doesn't really go completely calm everywhere, but 2 to 3 miles per hour. That should be calm enough with a clear sky to give us that light freeze. So at 9 o'clock, we're in the 40s. So we've dropped a good 10, 12 degrees. And then as we go into the overnight, by 3 a.m., Cleveland, Huntsville, out west, College Station, Brenham, Columbus, we're right there at freezing. So outlying areas, a 3 to 4 hour freeze. Closer into Houston, a 1 to 2 hour freeze. So as we go to 7, you can see 30 at Liberty, 29 Cleveland, 32 at Bush, Katy, Sugar Land, Tomball, Wharton, all 30, 31, 27 out toward Columbus, in town and down toward the Hobby, and then 40 on the island and 40 at High Island. So in town, not much of a freeze, but elsewhere you could see a little bit. By lunchtime, we're only to 48, 49, 50 with highs tomorrow, hopefully recovering to 58. At 57 to 60, I'll go with 58 and keep my fingers crossed. This has been a mess up over the Ohio Valley. A lot of snow continues there as that low moves out. This high, bringing this calm wind, moves pretty quickly into the Gulf tomorrow. So our recovery is fast into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. In fact, I would plan on an absolutely stellar weekend. Look how these temperatures go from 58 to 68 to 78 by Tuesday. So we really have a nice warm up coming, but not yet. Clearing skies, calming winds, 40s overnight, 32 by 5 o'clock tomorrow morning as the winds calm down. Tonight's haircast. It's still dry out there. You need a little humidity for good hair. We don't have much humidity. 58 to 68. Go Texan Day, the cook-off, the rodeo parade, Dynamo Sabercats. We get to 78, and another front knocks us down a bit. But with any luck, we go into another nice weekend. And then on Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday into Sunday, those clocks spring forward an hour.
Oh,
and
we're almost there.
Sleep. I know.
Just like that.
Just like that. The sun stays up till about 7:20 on that day. So we're at least got that going for us.
We do. We do. All right.
Stay warm.
Frank, thanks so much.
All right.
Coming up, the new link between dairy milk and the risk of breast cancer.
Is there a way of increasing the chance that you'll have a boy or a girl? What a new study discovered. Topping today's health headlines, a new study shows the sex of a baby may be left up to chance.
Some believe a mother's likelihood to have boys or girls is decided by their father's DNA. Others think the parents' hormones at the moment of conception will play a role. But a study out of Sweden shows people don't have an innate tendency to have offspring of one sex or the other. Instead, genetically speaking, researchers say it's essentially random. The study looked at every birth in Sweden since 1932.
There is a link between drinking dairy milk and a woman's chances of developing breast cancer. Scientists at Loma Linda University in California say even small amounts of milk can raise that risk. The study looked at the diets of more than 50,000 women in North America over a period of 8 years. Scientists believe it may have to do with sex hormones found in dairy milk.
The FDA is considering a policy that would limit the amount of nicotine in cigarettes, but experts have expressed concerns that people would just smoke more. A new study from the University of South Carolina suggests they would not. A study of cigarette butts showed those smoking low nicotine cigarettes did not increase the intensity of their puffs. And a second study showed no big changes in the number of cigarettes smoked per day.
Coming up, Chipotle unveils yet another version of its queso. What's different about the new version compared to the others?
And a hearing on Capitol Hill regarding fees charged by ticketing sites like Ticketmaster and StubHub.
But first, here's a look at some of your traffic times. If you're heading down 288 towards Pearland, expect a few slows and a 24-minute drive. Looking pretty good up to Kingwood on 59, 33 minutes. Smooth sailing for the most part on the East Freeway out to Baytown. A 16-minute drive this afternoon. Scoring the perfect seat to an event is a plus, but the ticketing fees can be too much. You normally don't see the added charges till you've selected your seat. Well, at this hearing with lawmakers, sellers now say they're in favor of showing the fees at the start of a sale, but only if all sellers do it. They discussed being able to easily transfer tickets and the practice of hiding unpurchased tickets to make it seem like the event is almost sold out.
Hey, Oreo lovers, Walmart has a giant variety pack for you. It comes with 5 different types of classic Oreos and a free t-shirt. BestProducts.com says each variety comes in a full-size pack. That is 4 pounds of Thins, Original, Double Stuff, Mega Stuff, and Most Stuff. And if you're into all that kind of stuff, you can get the pack for $24.99 at Walmart. But you may want to check and see if it's in stock because all that stuff is quite popular right now, as you can imagine.
I do like all that stuff.
Yes.
All right, if you love Chipotle, you'll probably love their new menu item.
Speaking of stuff you love, it's a new queso dip, and it has a whole new recipe and a new look. Queso Blanco is white instead of the other yellow dips. It's made of Monterey Jack, white cheddar, and Serrano, Poblano, and Chipotle peppers. In 2017, Chipotle's customers said that the melted cheese dip was a little too gritty, so they tweaked the recipe and released a new one months later. You can try Queso Blanco's new recipe tomorrow.
Queso and Oreos, 2 popular food groups.
I know, we're not even on the weekend yet, right?
All right, believe it or not, the world's first 3D printed steak has been invented.
Yeah, coming up, a closer look at what could be the future of meat. And he's known for bringing sexy back, but now Justin Timberlake is ready for you to rock to a new sound. Coming up, the new music the star just released.